I'll remind everybody, please mute your cell phones and do not stream the press conference. When you're called upon in the room, please identify yourself by name and your affiliation, and wait for the microphone to get there so we can hear your questions. Those of you on Zoom, if you have a question, you can send it in. Just raise your hand, and we will do that as well. We will start things with an opening statement from Coach Frayling.
Yeah, really, really proud of our team. We feel like this is a big step for us. We were here last year. I think we learned a lot about what the tournament is like, what it feels like, and I thought we were prepared. And I thought the thing we've been talking about a lot is real confidence comes from toughness, not whether or not the ball goes in or not. And thought we had that. We knew Harvard was going to be a tough matchup. We felt like they were playing their best basketball through, especially the Ivy League tournament. And I thought our preparation really helped us to be successful tonight. But a lot of credit to Harvard. Harmony Turner is a great player. What Coach Moore has done there in such a short amount of time is pretty incredible. So we had a lot of respect for them going into the game, and a lot of credit to them for the season they've had.
We will now direct our next segment to our student athletes, Jocelyn Tate and Grace Van Sluten, who had both big games. So if any questions in the room, please raise your hand and we will get a microphone to you. Start on the front row right here.
Tom Shanahan from Spartan Mag. There was a lot of talk before the game about playoff experience, tournament experience. You got your first game. Mm-hmm. Jocelyn, you had a big role defending Harmony. What did you talk about your games today?
I honestly just had a lot of fun. Like I said, I've never been to the NCAA tournament, so I was really excited coming into this game. And I think we played with a lot of intensity, and, we really wanted this win, and I think that's what we went out and did. And, yeah, overall, I just had a lot of fun, and just happy to still be one of the 32 teams still playing.
Jocelyn?
I felt like we were just prepared, and although my matchup was Harmony, I felt like it was a team effort. We practiced and worked on it, and we communicated well. We moved together, and I thought that was really good.
Next question in the back, far right.
Bob Sutton with the Associated Press. Jocelyn, you had a three-pointer during the big run in the third quarter. How important was it the way you guys responded after they got within a point?
Well, we just like to get stop, score, stops, and build on our leads. So we don't want them to feel comfortable and make comebacks. So we just like to, build our leads. And I just said the same thing, but it's okay. Yeah, we like to build our leads here. Yeah.
Right here. Stay on the right.
Jocelyn, you mentioned that Marissa says career hoop stats. Sorry, Jocelyn, you mentioned that your matchup was Turner. What was the game plan against her? What was the scout? Because she's kind of everywhere every game.
Just keep her off the three-point line and gap help in the paint.
Any more questions from the front row right here?
Coach, you talked about the slow start last year.
We're going to do the student athletes first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
You guys can talk about it, too. You talked about the slow start last year, and you got off to a fast start you wanted this year, and then the offense went really stagnant for a while. Were you trying to force the ball inside too much? It seemed like they were knocking a lot of balls away, or just what happened after that quick start?
I think we just got away from our ball movement. I think we started the game off, pushing the ball in transition and really swinging the ball around, and I think we got away from that, which definitely hurts our game and does make it a lot more stagnant. It makes it a lot easier for the defense to guard. So I think that was the main problem there.
Over here to the far left.
I'm Julian. I'm from the Globe. If I counted it right, this would have been the lowest scoring game for Harvard and the third lowest scoring game for you guys, which I think you guys knew that was going to happen coming in. It was two really good defenses, but I was wondering as players, do you get up for games like this where stops are going to win this kind of game?
Grace, we'll start with you.
I definitely get excited. I think we are a very defensive-sided team, and we take a lot of pride in our defense, and, we love to press and kind of fly around and make other teams feel really pressured and hectic. So, I think it was a lot of fun, and, Harvard's press is really good, and it took a lot of preparation coming into that, and, they definitely got some steals off of that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely get up for more defensive games. I think it's a lot of fun, especially, you know, the physicality and everything like that. So yeah, I get excited for it.
Jocelyn?
Yeah, but exactly what she said. I would just say I felt like we knew both teams were really good at defense, and we just wanted to win that matchup. And our defense also helps our offense, so that's like our fuel.
Question over here to the right.
Hi, Miles Rosenhorn with the Harvard Crimson. Can you talk a little bit about the role of free throws in winning this game? It seemed like, I believe you guys scored 12 more points off of free throws than Harvard did. And yeah, I mean, was it part of the game plan to get to the free throw line and win it there? Or, yeah, can you just elaborate?
Jocelyn, we'll start with you.
I would just say I think getting fouled and getting to the line is a part of our offense. I wouldn't say it's anything like different or spectacular, but that's our every game type of thing. And we work on our free throws all the time, so that we are prepared in these situations.
Yeah, I think drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line is a part of every game plan. I think as much as you can get to the free throw line, that's, you know, your benefit. And yeah, like you said, we spend a lot of time on it and work on it, so when we do get those fouls, we're ready to knock them down.
Anybody else got a question in here? If not, I have one for both of the players. Some teams don't like playing physical basketball, the physicality of it. Do you like to enforce your physicality on those opponents just as much as you try to absorb the physicality from them? Grace, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I love being physical. You know, I like that contact, and I think it's definitely taken some getting used to. I think that's something that I've really improved on while I've been at Michigan State, is absorbing contact and getting used to that physicality. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Jocelyn, even for a guard?
Yeah, I think it's 1 through 15 on our team. We're really big competitors, and we want to win, and we know that we can win that physicality margin.
Any more questions in the room? Yeah, sure. Back right.
Grace, you actually had a double-double without any turnovers. It's only like the 13th performance after you had in your steals and blocks. Was just knowing that Harvard was the kind of defensive team there, was that kind of a focus for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think at halftime and after the third quarter, coach was really challenging me to get some boards, and, you know, the rest of my coaches. So that's kind of what I went in and did. And, you know, we knew that they send 5 to the glass, and rebounding was going to be a really big part of this game. And it definitely wasn't the best, but, you know, I think we turned it up a notch towards the end of the game.
Any more questions in the room? If not, we do have a question on Zoom. So, Rob, when you get unmuted and ready, go ahead. Rob, are you there? Hello, Rob. I guess not. Oh, well. If nobody else has, oh, you got one more question? Go far left.
One of my favorite quotes from yesterday, which shows how boring I am, was your coach said y'all have multiple presses, and it depends on you guys to determine how effective it's going to be. And I watched the first 2 minutes, and I was like, oh, they fly around a lot. You guys touch your chin, and like a trap comes about. And I was like, yo, this is going to be nuts. What is it like when you guys are communicating? And then how do you manage all the different schemes that you have at your disposal, and when to use them, and how did they work out today? You know.
Grace, take that one first since you're on camera.
I thought they went really well. I think in order for press work, you have to have a lot of trust in your teammates, and I think that's something that we have. So, you know, just knowing that your teammate's going to rotate to the next player and, you know, kind of close that trap. And I want to give a shout out. I think Joss kind of makes our press go. You know, she's out there flying around and tipping balls and doing whatever she can. She throws her body on the floor, and I think that's kind of, that energy gets the rest of us going for us to kind of, you know, get up in the press and everything like that. So a lot of props to Jocelyn.
Thanks, buddy.
Jocelyn?
I would just say, like, the experience, and then how much we've been working on it throughout this year. I feel like Grace, everybody caught on so fast to the press, and once you know how to read the defense and move together, it makes it all really fun and easy. It's really fun. So I think that's why we're really good at it, because we have fun with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we get tired. But it's really fun to fly around and sprint out.
All right, we're going to space one more time with Rob on Zoom. Rob, you there?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Rob Brown, Ivy Hoops Online, for both student athletes. After Harvard's season and last week's Ivy tournament, there was a lot of talk about them being a trendy upset pick. Is that stuff that you heard, or do you tune all that out this time of the year?
Jocelyn, you lead off.
I did hear about it, but it wasn't it's not a big deal. Everybody has their own opinions, and that's okay. I think it adds plot to life, so make it fun. And plus, they're a good team, so yeah, we respect them, and yeah.
Grace, final word from you.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same. They're a really good team, and I think other people's picks don't really matter to us. We know what we can do, and we just prepare for everybody like they're the same.
Grace, Jocelyn, thanks for your time. Congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
win, and we'll see you again on Monday.
Thanks so much.
We'll continue the press conference with Coach Freilich. And, well, wait a minute, you got to introduce this young lady here first.
Yeah, this is our superstar, my 8-year-old Clara Freilich. What do you like to do after the Spartans win?
The victory gritty.
The victory gritty.
She was studying that stat sheet pretty hard, too.
Yep. No, she loves her Spartans, and I'm glad she's here with me.
All right, questions in the room for Coach? Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you could
Hold on.
comment about
Microphone. There you go.
what I was trying to ask you earlier, if you could comment about the fast start you wanted.
Yeah.
And then you scored some free throws and off of a steal, but otherwise the offense wasn't producing anything for a long stretch.
Yeah.
And then you came back in the second half and were able to get the ball inside a lot. Just talk about the adjustments you made, what they were doing to you, that everything.
We got off to a great start. We knew that was important. It's important every game. I think it's really important in this tournament. And then they're a good team. They clawed back, but part of it we were fouling. So during that stretch, I think in the first quarter they had 2 field goals and 7 free throws. And so it's really hard to get in a flow when you're fouling. And so I thought that got the game choppy a little bit for us. And then when that happened, we just weren't moving the ball the same. I thought we were trying to do too much off of 1 pass or 2 passes when, Harvard's too good of a defense to get a good shot off of that. So I just thought the flow, we were getting stops early and playing better offense. And when we started fouling, I thought it made us just kind of play disconnected.
Next question in the room. Back right.
They're below there in the third quarter, and is that natural for your team to kind of be unfazed by that and just get after it again, or what was your impression of what happened there?
We got kind of lucky. I mean, I think we gave up 4 shots on a possession and they didn't score. So we kind of dodged one there. But we play in the Big Ten, and 12 of the 18 teams in our league are in the tournament. So we have seen it all. We really have. We have seen the best teams in the country, the best players, tournament teams pretty much night in and night out. So, no, we don't get faced. I mean, we've been down big. We've come back. We've been up big. We've given up leads. It's part of the game. I think there has to be, an endurance for the game. But, after that, it's like, if we don't control our defensive rebounding, this game's going to be really hard. And we didn't do a good job on our defensive rebounding. That's something we have to clean up. But when we did, they were rebounding so aggressively. We scored, or we were able to go get fouled. So, that's something we need to do better. But I thought we dodged a bullet there early and then settled in.
Next question. Over here to the left.
Obviously, Harmony ended up with a tougher night, but more so less about how you guarded her, but how did you take away her options, right? The roller, you sent help immediately on rolls. I think they got 3 layups off of those. She had to make long passes to corners.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It just made it seemed like you tried to make it very difficult for her not only to score herself, but even generate something outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, we knew coming in she's clearly the focal point of their offense and their team, and so our game plan was to take away her threes, be really good in our gaps, and be really early in help, because a lot of times in their 2-man action they throw it to the roll. So we wanted to take away that first option, and when she drives, she's a tough one-on-one matchup, but we could guard together. Really try to take away the paint. And we had 3 matchups on her. We're fortunate that we went in the game knowing, Jaden could guard her, Jocelyn could guard her, Nyla could guard her. And we've watched a lot of games where there's just a matchup on her. And we felt like going in, we're going to have 3 matchups on her. We're going to switch up the matchup. She works hard. I mean, she's got a motor. She never gets tired. She goes after every ball. And we knew we were going to have to change that up. And I thought all 3 did a great job. And as a team, we did a good job. But those were the priorities for us.
I'm not sure if this is the same for you, but these games are really pretty to me. They might not be the best, but is there something you can appreciate about just like how much effort goes into the win was because you made sure they didn't score, not because you did score.
Yeah, this time of the year, that's a little easier to control, right? How do we make the game hard on the defensive end? And, I feel like something that we feel like is a strength of our team is we have a lot of talent. So often it gets talked about somebody being hot on offense. Well, you can get hot on defense. And that's something we can control. So our preparation, of, hey, let's guard together. Let's get back to, we came off the Big Ten tournament and we were so disappointed with our defense. We just felt like we got away from so many of our principles off the ball. And so, these 2 weeks, I felt like we've worked really hard on getting back to being much, much better, building pressure as a unit off the ball as well. And tonight I thought, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough.
We got a question on Zoom from Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
Thanks. Coach, Harvard obviously has a really strong defense, but if there's any one area that may be vulnerable, it was their free throw rate. Is that something that you purposefully took advantage of?
I don't know purposefully. We just felt like if we were early in help and early in gaps, we would do a much better job of defending them without fouling. And a lot of our free throws came off of when we actually did get a defensive rebound. They were so aggressive to rebound that they weren't back. And I felt like that was where we got fouled. And Grace drew 10 fouls. We knew coming in. We felt like she'd be a tough matchup for them inside. First half, we didn't have a breakthrough with that, but in the second half, we did.
Over here to the right.
I think you might have just answered my question with saying Grace drew 10 fouls, but you look at a lot of the stats, assists, turnovers, steals, blocks, and a lot of them are even, but they had to foul 25 times.
Yeah.
And you guys only have 16 fouls. That's from being a physical team and being in control of the game, or how do you explain that?
I thought it was a combination. I thought Grace did a good job imposing her will in the paint in the second half, and I thought, as I shared, when we did defensive rebound, we had numbers advantages, and I thought we did a good job being aggressive to the rim and getting to the free throw line off of that and getting some and ones.
Any more questions in the room? One more over here to the left.
One more dope question, because I'm curious. So when Harmony comes off, I don't want to say the exact action, but basically when she gets to a screen and you decide to send 2 at her.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how do you go about saying, like, we trust that everybody's going to, like, be in the right spots to once you send that extra defender, and that also she just has to make the right read there, and that you're kind of, I don't want to say gambling, but you're saying, hey, like, we'll make you try to make the right play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did put 2 on the ball on her a lot. We hedged a lot of the ball screens and handoffs. She did get us on some splits. But we wanted to get the ball out of her hands. You watched the Ivy League tournament, and she was so dominant. So we just knew as a team, if we were going to do that, then off the ball, you have to load to the ball, right? You've got to be able to guard it together. And like I shared, it wasn't perfect, but I'm proud of our defensive effort, and I thought she's a very, very good player. And as a group, I like the way we dialed in on that end tonight.
Final question, we'll go to Zoom and Rob.
Thanks, Coach. With your relationship, your past history with Carrie, could you talk a little bit about what you might have said before and after the game with her?
I mean, it was pretty quick. There's not a lot of time with our little hug before, but I just told her congratulations and good luck. And it's, what she's done at Harvard in such a short amount of time is so impressive. I know it's going to continue. Everything she's part of, everything she touches, excellence becomes attached to it. So it's hard to get here, and she's done it in a really short amount of time.
All right, that'll wrap it up. Coach Freilich, congratulations, and we'll see you Monday.
All right, y'all. Go Green.
continue with Harvard now. Coach Carrie Moore, Elena Rodriguez, and Harmony Turner will be our speakers. We'll start things off, Coach Moore, with an opening statement from you.
Yeah. I'm just really proud of these two. As I said in the locker room, this game does not define our season. This game does not define who we are. This game does not define who these two have been and what they mean to this program. Every time you are in something, your goal should be to leave it better than you found it. And these two have done exactly that. They have been our engine, our energy, our drive for the last 3 years that I've been fortunate enough to be the head coach here. And they deserve it all, and I'm so very glad that they played their very last game on this stage. Unfortunate because I feel like we are a much better basketball team than we showed for 40 minutes today, but like I said, so proud of these two and our team and this group and what we've accomplished this year. What we have done has not been done at Harvard in a very long time. It is a new standard, and can't really think about the future, just more so just really proud of our group and so very fortunate and blessed to be the head coach here.
If you're in the room and have a question, please raise your hand. If you're on Zoom and have a question, please use your raised hand function. We will spend the next portion of our press conference with questions just to the student athletes. So if you would like to ask both of them the question, please say so. If you'd like to directly send it to one player, one student athlete, please do so. So start things right here off to the right-hand side.
Hi, Miles Rosenhorn with the Harvard Crimson. Harmony, Dana, congratulations on an incredible season. Can you just talk a little bit about, your love for this program? Clearly, you're very emotional right now. And from watching you guys over the course of a year, it's clear that's related to this passion that you guys have for Harvard women's basketball. So first and foremost, just talk about, your teammates, what it meant to get all the way over here. Yeah.
I mean, these group of girls, it's very rare to find and be on a team that is so loving, so caring, so hardworking, 1 through 14, coaches included. Like, that is very rare, especially in college basketball. I'm so proud of them because we've been through so much, and I feel like only we know how much we've been through, and we persevered every single time. I don't think we're going to take this as a loss. I think we're taking this as a learning experience, because at the end of the day, like, we still are champions, and we still have that sisterhood that a lot of people don't necessarily have. I'm super proud of them. I wouldn't trade them for the world. Yeah, I love them to death. I really do.
I mean, for me, I couldn't have chose a better place to come for my college basketball career. They're my second family away from home. They mean the world to me. I could have done this with any other group, and I'm really proud of all of them. It just makes every day go to practice. It just brings a smile to my face seeing all of them. They're really my sisters, and I know, like, this friendship is for a lifetime, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, you may have a follow-up.
Can you also talk a little bit about your coach? As seniors, you obviously were not. You're the only ones, or one of the few, who were not freshmen when Coach Moore got here. Tell us a little bit how she's made an impact on this program over the past 3 years, and what she also means to the two of you personally. And Harmony, if I may, very quickly as well. You mentioned, or I believe when you went out to start the second half, you looked toward the family section and you yelled at them, "Let's have some fun." Can you tell me, did you have fun today? Did you have fun over the course of the year?
Yes, I have fun with all my teammates. I think basketball is a very fun game. let's have some fun. You got to understand, like, yes, we're on a big stage, but there's still no pressure. The reason why we have to circle back on why we started playing, and that's having fun. Joy is one of our core values, and I feel like we had a really fun season. Let's have some fun. It's always great to put on a show. I feel like we fought our butts off. And to answer your question in regards to Coach Moore, you trying to make me cry again. But, yeah, like, you can't ask for a better coach than that, you know? She cares about you as a person, you know? And she's someone that I deeply, truly love and care about. I feel like we have a relationship that is so unique because, I mean, it's grown so much, especially since she's got here. I love her to death, man, and I'm just going to stop there because I'm going to start boo-hooing. I'm so thankful for her, thankful for her belief in me, thankful that she never gave up on me, especially in times where I was doubting myself. She still had that belief in me. She's told me since she's got here that I was generational, and she led me to believe that. And you can't ask for a better coach than that. I feel like our relationship is going to go beyond Harvard as well.
Elena?
Yeah, I mean, in my personal experience, I came here my freshman year, adjusting to like a whole new country, a new style of playing. I didn't get a lot of playing time my freshman year, and you know, like my confidence wasn't there. And then Coach Moore came in, and she believed in me even when I didn't. And you know, she gave the Spaniard a chance, and and you know, it's been history since then. So I'm just grateful for her for all that she has done for me. As I said the other day, like she's been like an amazing coach, but even better, an amazing person. And she has built a winning team program since she got here, and we wouldn't have done it without her. So thank you so much.
Another question in the room over the left-hand side here. Yes, thank you.
Harm, can you talk? Can you tell me what you said in the locker room when you went? I saw you running after, ahead of everybody else. What did you say? What any thoughts that you shared in the locker room right after?
During halftime or after the game? Honestly, I ran into the locker room and cried. I hugged all my teammates, and I feel like I'm comfortable being vulnerable with them. That's an emotion that they don't really see a lot, and I'm so grateful for them because they've accepted that. You know, my story is man, one for the books, and I feel like being comfortable and being vulnerable with them is a beautiful thing, and that's exactly what I did. I feel like we made a lot of history this year. So I mean, at the end of the day, it was tears of joy. It was tears of gratitude. I'm incredibly grateful for the game. I'm grateful for my teammates. I'm grateful for my coaches, and that was just all that emotion, just you know, going out. There's really not much to say other than loving on them and reciprocating that same energy as well.
Yes, sir, right here. Stay left.
I'm Julian. I'm from the Globe. I kind of wanted to ask you about the huddle as you left the floor, but you guys are already crying, and I don't want you to cry anymore. So I'll just ask a basketball question.
Too late.
You're right. The outcome is the outcome, but the final score, I think they had 60. That's like the third lowest scoring game of the season. You guys had 50. That was like your lowest score. This was a defensive battle, you know what I mean? Did you guys know that coming into it? The first 2 minutes were tough, and then it was like you guys were in a fight the entire time. What was it like being in that kind of game, knowing that stops were going to win it, you know?
Harmony, we'll start with you.
I feel like defense is our identity. It caused us to win a championship in the Ivy League, and our shots weren't falling, but that's basketball. They're not going to fall every single game. I feel like at the same time we still didn't give up, and that's all you can ask for, you know? And I think, I mean, we prepared. We left it all out there. It's March. This is what happens. This is what happens during March, and I feel like we still left it all out there, and that's something to hold our heads up to.
Robin was actually saying the big part of it, not only just taking you away, but just taking away the options, right? Like she said, shooting the ball, she made it hard to get past the roller, you have to go past across the court to corners. Like, what was it like just trying to make decisions with so many people kind of loading up?
I feel like Michigan State's a really great team. They have really great coaches. At the same time, I feel like it's something I haven't seen before. We know the work that we've put in. Kudos to Michigan State for getting a lot of stops on defense, and that's just what it was.
Got a couple of questions on Zoom. Let's start with Jen. Go ahead.
Jen Hadfield with the Next. Harmony and Elena, for both of you. First of all, just thank you both for your time all season and for being here. I wanted to ask you about Carrie's "Believe It" mantra. You know, obviously she brought that from the beginning, and now that you've gotten this far and kind of gotten everything you were believing in for the most part, you know, how much does that resonate with you now, or how powerful have you seen that belief be for you guys?
Harmony, we'll go with you first.
I think you kind of sort of answered the question. Believe it is pretty self-explanatory, and it's not just in basketball but in life. I feel like Coach Moore is the definition of believing it, and we just follow suit. We follow the leader, and she's been a tremendous coach, tremendous leader for the 3 years I've been here. And it's not only believing it in basketball but in life in general, because at the end of the day, like, life is hard. Life is hard, and you have to believe in yourself. You have to surround yourself with a lot of great people, and I feel like Coach Moore and my teammates and the coaching staff has done a really great job of making this a family-oriented team.
Elena?
I mean, we don't say believe it very lightly, even though we say it a lot. We have to believe in ourselves, believe in our teammates, believe in our coaching staff, believe in this program, and I feel like that's what it's been about the last 3 years. And as Harmony said, like, this is gonna go beyond Harvard, and we're very grateful for her to like introduce that to us, because you know that's make us better persons, but also like following her lead has been amazing.
That's all the time we have with Elena and Harmony. Thanks a lot for your time. Congratulations on your championship, and thanks for sharing your true feelings today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We'll continue our press conference in just a second with Coach Moore. If you have a question for Coach Moore in the room or on Zoom, please raise your hand. Anybody wants to start off? Over here to the left. And if you have a follow-up, wait for the microphone.
Great game, great season, great team. Thanks for letting me hang out for the field for a little bit. But you just looked at your players. I was just curious. I didn't get a chance to ask them. I was curious what they felt like they left behind. But you said it's setting a new standard, and I feel like with that particular group, what do you feel like they're leaving? You know what I mean? Because they're sad because the moment's over, but I feel like they left a lot too.
Yeah, definitely. Just a new standard, right? A new standard of excellence, a new standard of championships, a new standard of how to show up, a new standard of how to handle adversity, a new standard of how to be a great teammate, you know, how to be coachable, you know, how to fight. You know, I think those two do one heck of a job at all of those things and more. And, you know, we wouldn't be able to do what we did this year without them. But I hope that, you know, the ones that are underneath them really see who they are and how they show up and how they go about things, because that needs to be the way that, you know, our entire team goes about things. So just really looking forward to now, you know, there's so much opportunity, right? You lose two really good players that play a lot, score a lot, defend a lot, do a lot for our team. You know, now it's, you know, next man up, and excited to, you know, see what that can look like.
Yes, right behind you.
Coach, you've told Harmony and people around you that she's a generational talent. What comes next for her in your mind?
A lot. I mean, I think she will just have to. She probably needs, you know, some days to just really process, as I do, right? Like, I think you see the emotion coming out of me because, like, you just go, and you don't, you just don't really have time to, like, sit and think about all that you've done, especially for her, right? Like, we've only had one other player in the history of our program that, has even compared to what she's done. That's a lot. And she's been through a lot, and it has not been easy. So I think for her to just take some time to, rest and just really, reflect on everything that has happened is the best thing that she can do. And then after a couple weeks, I'm sure she will be back in the gym, hopefully preparing for a professional career. And I think she's proven that, I think there's 3 rounds in the WNBA draft. I think maybe 36 something in and around there picks. I think she has shown that her name should be called on that night. And I'll be right there alongside of her, waiting to hear her name. She is a pro, and everything that she does, and she's only scratching the surface. Believe that or not, but she's got an incredible career ahead of her.
We have a question on Zoom before we get back in the room. Jen, go ahead.
Jen Hatfield with the Next. Hey, Carrie. Thanks for the whole year. It's been great following you guys. Harmony said something about like this loss is a learning experience for us, and just curious what you want your team to learn from this, and what memories specifically you want them to remember about this whole NCAA tournament experience, not just the game today.
Yeah, definitely. You can't create this experience any other way than just being here. And I think at times during this game, I felt like the moment maybe was a little bit too big for our team because we hadn't been here before. I think this experience hopefully fuels us to do everything that we need to do to get back to this point and show up at our best in this moment and meet the moment. I think, you saw our team a weekend ago, show up at our very best because we had been in that position before, and we knew how we needed to show up and play in order to get it done. And now we know. And I think culturally, it is my job to, do everything that I can, to make sure that we get an opportunity to get back, to this place. And I feel like, we've got a lot coming back and a lot coming in, and I feel like that is something that we can do.
Let's stay on the Zoom and get a question from Rob. Go ahead.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for everything all season. When you get it down to 1 in the third quarter and the offense looks like it's clicking, then they hit you back with that 11-point run. What's going on? Did you think you had another run back in you?
Yeah, of course. Our team has been it's been a season of runs, as you know, better than anybody. I don't think any time that we're down that we ever feel like, we can't get back in the game or that we're not going to win the game. I felt like during that 11-0 run, we were unhinged a little bit. We just started to unravel in a way that, I didn't love. We just needed to get more stops. I felt like, we were overhelping in moments that we didn't need to, couldn't keep people in front. We fouled way too much. You put a team on the free throw line 27 times. It's hard to kind of overcome that over the course of, especially the later in the game that it gets. So, but just, I felt like we then responded again, even after their run. I'm just really proud that, they finished the game, playing Harvard basketball.
Over here to the left.
Actually, just 2. I was wondering, obviously, they're good defensively. You're good defensively. You knew that was going to happen coming in. But what did they do that made it difficult to generate offense? Obviously, they were keyed on Harmony making her decisions difficult, but just overall. And then 2, obviously, it was emotional after, but it was emotional during. I think you were pointing this out, how do you try to keep people composed during the game?
Yeah, to answer your second question, that's what I'm saying about this moment, right? There's a lot of emotions that have never been felt before in this moment when things are getting heated and they're physical and, we feel like we're not getting fouled. They're, calling every foul, on that end for us. It's, so I think, it's my job to make sure in that moment that I'm trying to calm folks down and really settle us. And, we talk a lot about 6-2-8. It's a big breath. And felt like, in a lot of moments, I asked our team to really do that and get present and refocus and make a run and respond. But yeah, that's the experience factor. And then I just felt like they're a Big Ten team. They're not a huge team, right? But they're athletic and they play really well together defensively. They're connected in a way but they're long, super long, and they get to spots. And, honestly, I love our league. I think it's an incredible league, but that defense tonight looked a little bit different maybe than what we've seen consistently throughout the season. And it's been a while. So I think it took us a second. It took Harmony a second to settle in. And, took us a little bit to kind of make plays, in and around what they were doing at the point of the screen.
Let's go back to the Zoom. Rob, you've got another question?
Yeah, Coach, when I look back at last year, Harm and Elena both dealt with serious injuries. They came back, but they came up short. With that as a backdrop, how great, how happy are you for them that they got to, experience the last 10 days the way they did?
Yeah, so happy for them and just, again, how everything that they've been through and how they've persevered and, the way that we have lost in a lot of our games in league in years past has been very dramatic and it has been very tough on us as a group. And I think, even this season you saw us, lose some games in the regular season that we felt like we should have won. And I thought they just did an incredible job of coming together and, playing their best basketball at the right time. And that's all you can ever want as a head coach. And, I really felt like, watching them the last, week, has been such a blast. The smiles on their faces, the joy that they've been having together as a group is, you can't replicate that. You can't replicate that. They've worked so hard to get here. And it's just been really cool as a head coach to experience it with this group. You never forget your first. We've laughed about that a lot this week. But this has been, quite a ride and just such an incredible group to do it with.
It's a great way to close out our time with Coach Moore. Congratulations on a great year.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Once we figure out when the game time is tomorrow, they will send that out, obviously, and then that's when they will also announce what time our press availability will be tomorrow with Michigan State and NC State. The practices tomorrow are closed, but as soon as we get that information, we'll shoot it out to you. Hopefully by tonight. It may be tomorrow morning, but look for that announcement.